Jerusalem. This for everybody. Important message. Stay tuned. Seriously. You're not gonna listen to the whole song. Just listen.
We wanna go back home, go back where we belong. Forgive us for our wrong. I pray this reach the throne. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, yeah. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, yeah. We wanna go back home, go back where we belong. Forgive us for our wrong. I pray this reach the throne. Jerusalem, City of David, Mount Zion. That's the place that the Father put his name on. Them the people that these nations got their aim on. We found out where we from, that was game on. Jerusalem, we did you so wrong. Broke the laws, he left us alone. We waking up, we wanna come home. Follow Christ ain't casting no stone. Jerusalem, yeah. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, yeah. We wanna go back home, go back where we belong. Forgive us for our wrong. I pray this reach the throne. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, yeah. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, yeah.
We wanna go back. My bad, Penny. Hold on, let me put something on. I gotta put it up because I gotta make sure the video don't go off. Oh, Olivia, make sure. Right, okay. Just something playing lightly. Okay, family. Crazy story. I started this video and it cut off. I wonder why. Like, family, when I tell you it's crazy, I'm doing this video. This is not my first time. I was just doing it, and my computer did something that it's never done before. The program just totally disappeared. It's never done this before. This whole time I've been making videos, you know, and all of a sudden today I'm making this video right now, and it's a totally different, separate program from the platform I'm on right now. Just saying, family. So, see, dang. I don't really want that in. Hold on, family. I need something playing in the background that's not going to that's not gonna distract me because it's talking. I just need, dang it. Alright, hold on, give me a second, family. Stay tuned, this is important. Yeah, I'm trying to find something that's not gonna cut me off. I need something to play. Matter of fact, okay, I know exactly what to play. Bet. Excuse me. What is it? I know exactly what to put. Bear with me for a second, family. I'm not digressing. Just bear with me. Like I said, it's crazy, family. If you only knew what just happened today, blow your mind. Like, whew. Man, family, this day, this AM, this is you know what it is? Maybe, okay, maybe it wasn't. I keep saying it was them, but maybe it was the creator. Maybe I was too hyped, because when I say, man, today was interesting, but just in case, I want to make sure it could have been me. Hold on. Okay, I'll leave it like that. So, okay, family, look. I know it's 4 minutes in, but bear with me, okay? So, let me look at the time. 4:30. Let me mark this down so I can tell y'all to skip if you don't want to. If you just. Oh, 4:44. Let's skip to 5 minutes. All right, family. Here we go. So, I forget exactly what I was doing this AM when I started on my journey at this day, but as I was going through my process, kind of like meditation, I guess, a thought came to my mind that I think of often. But this particular thought didn't really first appear in my spirit until maybe about last year sometime. And the thought was, I think it was around the time I had the epiphany that, oh my goodness, I'm in hell. Like when I woke up, literally I remember speaking with my cousin the night before, and he showed me this video, this Freemason guy showing this as above, so below. And it's like that night, and I remember it just hit me, something about it hit me so profoundly. And the next morning I woke up, no, actually I think I woke up in the middle of the night. I don't think I could sleep that well until I finally did sleep, and I think I dreamed, and then when I woke up and then something hit me, I was like, oh my God, I'm in hell. And but not like burning, but like literally in hell. Like we're in hell. It becomes hell because doing it because of the way it is. But anyway, so I digress. But this is around the time I started having this thought about everything's backwards. Everything we've learned, everything we've been teaching, everything's like legit backwards. We've been thinking one thing is another. Like what we've been thinking is one thing is actually the other thing, and the thing that we've been thinking is the thing is actually the other thing. And I'm gonna try to talk somewhat in code and stuff, family, because I have to. Because like I said, I don't know if it's the creator or if it's them. I don't want them doing certain things. So I'm just going, like I said, even just watch the way I say stuff. So the way I articulate things. So basically, always digressing, bro. And then I forget. This is important. Stick with me, family. This is for everybody. So, okay, yeah, this thought came, everything's backwards. So then I started thinking about the Tower of Babel. And remember, family, I always give this description of the Tower of Babel to where it's the spiritual Tower of Babel and then the physical Tower of Babel, right? Or I always put it to where the physical Tower of Babel is like the physical world, society, building, space, technology, reaching the top of the dome, right? And that flat theory stuff. And then you got the spiritual one where lately, remember, family, we've been talking a lot. If you've been following me in these books, right? We've been talking, what do they talk a lot about in these books? They talk about spiritual technology. Right now, right, family? So on the spiritual side, or just even people reading, right? Meditating and things of that nature. That's the second tower. The second tower is a spiritual tower. So the more that gets higher spiritually, then they knock that down. They knock it down physically and spiritually. But here's the Trinity, family. There's a third tower. 3 towers. Not just 2, there's 3. The third tower is the DNA tower, family. The third tower is, here's the 3 towers. This is what it was telling me this morning. So when I had this epiphany today, something in my spirit was like, it was like the Tower of Babel. And then now it brought me something new today. It was like, okay, Jacob's ladder, which, well, actually that's not new. I've already done the comparison between that. But the new one today, it was like DNA. Because as, going through studying and researching, we find the connection. People have made certain connections between Jacob's ladder and the DNA and spiritual growth and things of this matter. So now I want to take, so actually, as we're on remember the Trinity, right? Remember a pyramid, Trinity, Jacob's ladder, right? I want to bring you to these 2 books, family. These 2 books are one and the same. Sometimes I think maybe this book might be in this book right here twice. Family, these books are so powerful. Family, when I say, as I've been reading this, going through with you guys studying, these books are pretty much talking about the same thing. Here's that Trinity, right? It's 3 towers, family. The number 3, remember, 3s have meaning. The 3 towers is the physical tower, the spiritual tower, and the DNA tower, right? And now I want to get a little bit into evolution. This book right here gets into evolution, right? Matter of fact, and even this, I forget exactly how this symbol, what this symbol has to do with evolution or chimerism or the connecting of DNA, but this book, family, so I want to explain this, and I need to digress and explain something for this, for what I'm trying to explain to you guys to make sense. So in the Cobran, like, I'll put it like this, I don't believe that I don't believe the Darwinian version of evolution. I believe in the spiritual sense of evolution, because evolution does start spiritually. It first starts within. So the Cobran explains in evolution. So first, and this isn't just the Cobran. Everything I'm telling you right now isn't everything I read in the Cobran. Honestly, the Cobran came after I got these downloads, and the Cobran just helped me. It's like the Cobran helped explain it a little more, and also gave me confirmation that, okay, you hearing what you're hearing. Because obviously this book. So imagine the creator at the creator's infant stage. The creator, we're not the first creator. We're not the first creation of the creator, family. The creator, imagine, like, remember a baby, right? A baby starts playing with like blocks and Legos, and they start building things, and eventually they graduate to like dolls and things of that nature, right? So think about the creator. Okay, so take like a rhinoceros, but not a rhinoceros. Take away the horn, but take a creature that looks something similar to a rhinoceros, right? Let's say this is one of the creator's first creations. I'm about to explain to you spiritual evolution in connection, and this is where, family, we about to start bridging spiritual science and physical science. So let's take the rhinoceros. Well, like I said, not the rhinoceros, but let's say an animal like it. Just imagine something like a rhinoceros, but take away the horns and let's make it a little more fleshy, right? And maybe change the color to maybe more pinkish color. And let's say the creator set it in a land that's more, you know, tropical climate, right? So it's more warm. But these creatures live in, you remember they're intelligent, but they're not like us. They don't have opposable thumbs. They have no need to, it's like Garden of Eden. They have no need to go make houses and stuff. Everything they need is right before them. So they're pretty much content just living their life, grazing the land, doing whatever. But these animals migrate. So over time they migrate, and let's say over time they end up migrating to an area that becomes cold. And as it gets cold, the animals, even though they don't speak with words like us, they internally or mentally, what do you want to say, they start thinking, man, I wish I had something to keep me warm. But remember, they don't have thumbs and stuff. They can't make these things, right? So this is where that internal prayer comes, family. Spiritual internal prayer. So, and I've explained this for the spiritual internal prayer, where prayer actually starts inward. In the Book of Mormon actually goes very, the Book of Mormon is actually a good book on this subject of it explaining how, or the seal portion too, how our prayer actually has to start. It starts internally, family, before it comes outwardly. We start our prayers outwardly, and we work on doing them internally, but we really need to start internally. And right now, what I'm doing is remember how they say, in order to know where you're going, you have to know where you came from. So I'm going back, trying to explain something. So this animal, this creature, as they getting cold internally, they're praying to the source, to the matrix, to the higher matrix, not the man-made, the 666 B system matrix, but the universal matrix. Spiritually, this animal is praying to the matrix. I'm cold. I need something to keep me warm, because remember, these animals are closer to the creator. You know how people say animals see things that we can't see and know things that we don't know? It's because that they're closer to the creator. They depend more on the creator. So the creator has created their DNA in ways that, family, animals, it's not like when you see these animals flying places or going places in flocks, family, and you're thinking like, where are they going? What are they doing? It's because they see things that you don't see. They see spectrums with their eyes. They hear things that you don't hear. They smell things you don't smell, because the creator made them this way, because they have to depend. They have a closer relationship. Like, family, think about children. Remember, they say in order to get to the Most High, you must become like a child. And what do people also say too? If you want to meet God, who do you go to? You go to a child, because they were just with God. Children and animals, family, have senses and understanding closer to the creator than we do. And this is even going back to the circle that's going on right now, family. And we're going to talk about these animals, because these animals, family, are seeing things that we're not seeing. Matter of fact, imagine if those animals were actually seeing, like, angels. Like, think about a shepherd. Or if you want to call them angels, some type of entities, beings. And these beings are literally herding these animals around in a circle. And these animals are doing it because they're watching. Remember, think about a sheep herder. Or think about like sheepdogs and stuff, right? Or cowboys. When they wrestle animals, what do animals do? The animals follow the people. If they lead them in a circle, the animals will follow them in a circle. So how do you know these animals aren't being led by a shepherd? Just a shepherd that you can't see. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Remember, these animals can see different spectrums than us, family. They can see things we can't. Matter of fact, if you go on certain channels, people have done videos where they talk about certain technology back in the day that the government had that was their first night vision technology. And they're talking about how they're using it during Vietnam and how the soldiers, when they would wear it, they would see entities. But when they took it off, the entities would be gone. Because with certain eye spectrums, family, you can see certain things that other people can't. Like animals. Animals can see things we cannot. Like when you see these paranormal videos and you say you see dogs and cats in your house and they see something in the corner, they literally see it. Because their eyes, they can see different spectrums. So I know I've digressed a lot, but let me keep pushing. Let me keep pushing. So basically, that's why I said that prayer, family, that animal, that prayer is where the evolution, the creator over time gives that animal a coat that it needs. So now it can go into the cold areas and enjoy it without being worried, right? So that's what this is, the connection between prayer and evolution. So now this is where I come back to the third tower, which is DNA. The third Tower of Babel. There's 3 towers of Babel. The Cobra. Remember my readings, family. Okay, so the Cobra, right? Oh, no, I mean you got the physical tower, the spiritual tower, the DNA tower. So they knocked down the physical tower by literally like so-called Black Wall Street. You know how I feel about that black word. But the first physical tower, remember, how do they do? They go knock it down physically. And remember, family, this is the different. We won't get into that. So the first Tower of Babel, the physical, they come in, they knock it down with their militaries, with their people, their followers, whatever. That's how they knocked the first one down. And matter of fact, that's kind of interesting. In the new game, 2040, Battlefield 2042, I haven't played it, but there's a level where it's a new space station. Like, all this stuff is symbolic, like Elon Musk and all this. But in the game, there's this space station. I guess one enemy force is coming to fight against, to stop another enemy force from launching a space, I guess some rockets into space for some type of space, for some type of space station, I think, right? So, but that's also symbolism of Tower of Babel, the physical. But then you have the spiritual Tower of Babel. You know how you knock that down? Once again, what's that term? How do you hide something from a Negro? You put it in a book. But this isn't just, remember my last video when I said I'm talking to Hispanics, so-called white people, so-called Asian people, all these different people. I told you I'm talking to all of you, right? Well, that tower that they knocked down, it's not just us. You look, when they say Negro, it's not just us, it's you too. Because most of us are ignorant, walking around in lack of knowledge and understanding, because we won't pick up a book and read it, because we have short attention spans because we can only watch 5-minute videos. But that's where they put the knowledge. And so because we're not seeking knowledge, we always focusing on them. We always waiting for somebody else to create something. So when we allow other people to create things for our lives, we let them control the narrative. And that's that second Tower of Babel. It's the spiritual. It's the wisdom. It's the spiritual and the mental is going like hand in hand there. So that's that second tower. Or I guess if you want to, or some people might, some philosophy, I guess, and I'm doing, they might switch, they might separate the wisdom and the spiritual. But me, I'm just going to put them together because I like my Trinity map right now. So now the third tower will be, and I see the spirituality and wisdom the same me. That's just me. But just my understanding. But that's the truth. Yeah, it's 3 towers. So the physical, the spiritual / wisdom, and I don't mean to flip you off. But then the third one's the DNA. This is how they knock the third one down. They knock the third one down. Remember in the Bible talks about it's against the mixing of genetics, right? Not talking about people sleeping together having families. I'm talking about messing with people's DNA, like certain things going around, or certain, now talking about putting stuff in foods, things that are messing with your genetics, right? And that's the third tower. And actually, this came to me too, family. And actually, as I've been researching more into DNA research, right? And actually, well, because not necessarily that, I mean getting more into this whole aspect of aliens and their relation to gods. And as you get into this, matter of fact, I just posted a video recently of it's DNA, Awakening Your DNA, right? Check out that brother's page, good page. But and if some of you notice on that page is zoomed in, there was this image of two of the alien tribes. One was Hebrew and another one was Melchizedek. And remember my last video, I mentioned, family, that a lot of the names like Israelite and this is what we call ourselves. Excuse me, family. If we were to go back in time and actually talk to these people, that probably wouldn't even, we probably wouldn't be even close to whatever they call themselves. So we can't get too caught up on the titles, but at the same time still have understanding of the title, because it's important to have a distinction so people can't trick you. You got to know definitions of things. You just can't let these things take hold of you to shackle you and put you in a box and say that, okay, that's the title, that's the only title, it can only be this. That's when you get messed up. So basically, family, and I don't want nobody to take offense, but this is really honestly something, if you've had this and you watch this video, this is something that you need to take up with another certain people, because they really, bro, they really shot y'all in the foot, bro. And a lot of y'all walked right into this trap, man. The third tower is, family, ascension is a natural process. Literally, as we go through life after life, life and death, even though our spirit leaves, but it just jumps to another avatar. So we're not actually leaving. The avatar just dissolves, but you go to another avatar. But each century, each decade, each century, each millennia is working towards a certain level of ascension. Because the more, it's like they go hand in hand. The more we grow mentally and spiritually and wisdom and knowledge, the more we're physically changing. It's like a flower. We can't see it, we can't tell, but it slowly progresses over time. The more we learn, the more we grow. And this is what the enemy wants to stop. This is why they want to stop knowledge coming out, because the more we grow mentally and spiritually, family, I'm talking like X-Men type stuff. And to be honest, look, this family, so this third tower, this DNA. So people, so basically, look, what I'm saying is, family, people who walked around with that thing, you've essentially let them stunt your growth. And they've stopped you from ascending. You talk about the mark of the beast. You've allowed the beast to put the system. It was fine. I mean, you lived around the system. Your house was in the system. But now you've allowed the beast to literally inject the beast within you. And you've literally, family, what I'm saying is, remember how I explained to you the animal praying to the Most High and the Most High? This is how we ascend. And if you've done research, and we've all put out videos about what's inside of these things, these Jabberwockies, there's certain things within these Jabberwockies that react to certain signals that cause these things to react and mess with your DNA. And this is literally messing with your ascension, because we're literally, family, like flowers. Remember, I explained this a lot. It's like a flower. If you sit here and try to watch a plant grow in front of your eyes, you're not going to see it. It's not going to happen. It's so slow. You got to walk away and come back. That's how it is. We're changing in front of each other's eyes. We just can't see it. It's like kind of one of those things, you go to sleep. Remember how growing up, remember, you grow when you sleep. You're not going to see it, but you know what's happening. Just believe it's happening. So, but what they've been lying, so family, what I'm saying is, even when it come, and matter of fact, I'm going to go into this later. I'm not going to jump into that yet. But it's the DNA. This is the third tower. So something else that came to me. So now that so basically everything's backwards, family. So you got to think about it like this, family. This is something else that told me. Everything is backwards. We've been doing everything backwards. When you go to the garden, And because remember one of the towers is knowledge, right? And remember, they say God knocked down the tower, but this is family. I always harp on. I explain the difference between God and the Creator. You and I, lower form, we are gods. The only difference is we're lower forms of gods in these avatars, or actually we have more power. It's just we just don't know it because they've been suppressing our power. But like so-called aliens are just, we're related to them. They're just different species. That's it. And they're more developed in their strength, in their powers, because no one's been holding them down. But some of them, remember, it's not aliens in the way of space, in the way we think it. Like I said, we've been lied to so much. It's just, once you get this understanding deep, like I said, you'll understand more. But I'm not going to go too much into this and that, because I want to make the point. But, family, you are God. And then, matter of fact, Brother Billy Carson says this a lot. Imagine, he brings up a lot. Imagine back in the day, you know, you're a primitive being. You know, all you use is a bow and an arrow, and then somebody comes in a flying spaceship. You're going to think they a god. Or, once again, words are things that we've just been taught and told from we younger without us thinking. There's a difference between a god and the creator. There's a difference between a god and the creator. When they say God knocked down the Tower of Babel, you should be asking, who, what God? Who's God? What God are you talking about? And then this takes me back to the Garden of Eden. Remember, you got God walking around in the forest. It doesn't necessarily explain how God is. It's almost like it is saying God is invisible. Or they even say God is the air, which is true. But once again, who's God, right? Because the creator is like, remember, let's go back to the movie Gods of Egypt. Remember when, I think he went up to, remember when Ra went up to Osiris? Remember Osiris was unbothered because he's like, look, I'm worried about things up here. I'm trying to keep out the darkness. You go back down there where you're supposed to be. I don't have time to worry about earthly things. So what I'm saying is not that the creator doesn't listen or care, but the creator has made certain channels, chain of command for you to, I mean, you could talk to the creator yourself. Look, we don't get too much into that right now, family, but because I don't want to go off into all this. There's a point I'm going with this story. It's not about all that. I mean, it's about that, but I don't want to get too deep. I'm just trying to, I digress. So this is why you have to understand the distinction between God and creator. So now you got the God in the garden, right? And he's telling, and basically he just wants Adam and Eve to go around and do nothing. And I don't want to put nothing on men because it's not men's fault. This is just what I'm saying they're using to captivate everybody's mind because men do have power. You know, simple. So this man is going around and this invisible man, and this goes back to the Anunnaki, the Inky in Lil's story. But so anyway, this man is telling them, basically he's like, just be cool, just do you. Don't grow, don't learn nothing. And then a snake comes along and then tells them, and remember, we've been told all the time that the snake is actually the devil or Satan or Lucifer, whatever you want to say it, and that we just assume the visible man is God. You know, what did your parents tell you when you were younger? Don't talk to strangers. And I know they said they knew God, but at the end of the day, I kind of think it like this. Remember, from our point of view, we don't know these people. We just taking somebody else's word, you know. So we don't know who's who. Remember, some people see things from different angles, and some people, and depending on, and right and wrong and good and evil is subjective depending on the person, their mentality, where they've been in life, right? So, but now we're going to jump into Quetzalcoatl. This is the snake god. Quetzalcoatl is also representation of Moshe. Quetzalcoatl is also representation of Yahusha. A snake in the back in the day was representation of wisdom. So, in other words, remember, the creator is everybody. This is another thing, like when we get into that number 666 isn't bad. It's just number. Remember, the universe uses numbers to talk. We let people scare us like, oh, 911, because they give us these negative vibrations. 666 is a changing message depending on the situation and the person. Yes, there's an overall understanding of it, but that understanding, it's almost like pictograph. Like when it's like picture art or pictograph, like pictographs on the Egyptian wall. When you understand what the symbols mean, one symbol can actually be a whole paragraph or a sentence. It's the same thing with numbers. When you understand the number and you put them in certain sequences and apply them to certain situations and circumstances and things, the numbers start to speak a story. They're a message. So, hold on. So okay, 3 towers, right? So basically, family, Oh, and I got some. Look, and right now too, I want to say, man, ask Creator forgive me for all my sins, because this message is important. And I want to look, and I take back what I said about the well, not everything. I'm speaking on the Hebrew Israelites, right? There's a certain aspect of them that I want to go back on, where I said that, well, honestly, I want to wait for that. I want to explain that some more. But so family, okay, so something, okay, so yeah, that's what I say. So Quetzalcoatl, the snake, brings wisdom. So the backwards is, this whole time we've been thinking that the Creator is, okay, remember, the Creator is everything. Nothing's bad. That was my whole point. We got to stop this. Something's bad. If it's like, when you look at the creation, when you look at rocks, when you look at wood, when you think of man-made, or even animals, none of this is bad because the Creator made it. The Creator made it for a reason. Only people with ignorance put negative connotations on things that just are, right? That are there for a reason, for the Creator, for the environment, for the ecosystem. So we've been taught this whole time that the snake is bad, and that the snake is actually Satan or the devil, when reality is actually the other way around. Because the Creator wants you to get wisdom. And then something else came to me. We've been reading the Bible backwards this entire time, family. Like, yes, true, read it from cover to cover. You know, don't just read it, jump around. But instead of reading it from Exodus to Revelations, we should have been reading it from Revelations to Exodus. And when we read it like that, family, and we follow the time frame, and we look at what's going on right now, and matter of fact, family, this movie is so deep spiritually and symbolically, man, it's crazy, because it keeps, the movie Don't Look Up on Netflix with Leonardo DiCaprio and the chick from Hunger Games. Family, that movie is telling of the time right now. We are asleep. This message came to me about Noah, the ark right now. Family, Exodus, family, people are asleep. Family, I'm telling you right now, a lot's about to happen. There's going to be an Exodus again, a physical. First is a spiritual, a wisdom. And I did a message on this. And it's almost like, I guess this is why we can't get stuck in a box. It's like I got comfortable. Like, I'm like, oh, it's just spiritual, so nothing physical. But now we get messages, we get sign, family, the animals in the circle, it's a time clock. There's a time clock counting down. Remember the books we've been talking about, family, the resets. Family, it's a time clock. The animals are seeing things that we cannot see. It's a time clock, family. There's something, family, at Exodus. And what did the song in the beginning say? Jerusalem. Family, the Israelites are a sign that the Creator's people are waking up right now. And this is going to lead, I don't know to where or who's coming. Remember the word, remember the Bible says the ships, the flying ships of Tarshish. Family, read the Bible. We've been reading it backwards. We're not supposed to be reading it from Exodus to Revelations. We're supposed to be reading it from Revelations to Exodus. Revelations is like the creation story. Chaos, remember, order out of chaos. And then eventually all that chaos turns into, remember I said in my last video, if you look at the Bible and take religion, it's a nation building book. And then once we get to the point of living in order, that order allows us to learn more. Remember, I broke this down, fam. We have to understand what love. We've been lied to about love. We've been taught to focus on this aspect of love, just the joy. It's just joy. When you sit here and say, I love something, all you're saying is, this thing gives me a lot of joy. And what you don't understand is when you say that, like I tell you, certain words put chains on you. When you say, I love something, you're putting shackles on you. And because you don't understand what love actually, it means joy. Joy can be, you can be lustful for joy. Joy can become an addiction. You can be addicted to joy, endorphins. So when you put that word love on it, it's almost like a spell. It's like you attach a chain to you. So what you're saying is, you're putting your joy and you're putting your emotions and your happiness outside of yourself on something else or someone. And whenever this thing lets you down, then it affects you. But when you understand that love is actually three, or so-called, or agape, or let's say that, agape is three separate aspects. It starts with respect, and then passion, and then it leads to joy. But you cannot just have joy. Because if you just have joy, everything else falls apart, and that's what's happening. Everybody always me. I want my joy. And it's not saying you shouldn't take care of you, but there's a difference between taking care of you. There's a difference between what you need and what you want. And right now, family, what I'm saying, the Israelite, what we see, the Hebrew Israelites, they're a sign right now of the Most High's people waking up, because there's about to be an exodus. And remember, there's a multitude. that clings to that, to those who, and remember family, there's a difference. Just because you a Israelite don't mean you a Hebrew. So once again, I take back what I say. I'm not saying that, first off, my message before is, once again, at the end of the day, you only follow the Creator over man all day. And this is why I say read again. But what I'm saying is there are certain people who are supposed to be an example of the Creator. And when you are read up in the Word, when you are read up in the Quran, when you're read up in the Buddhist text, when you read up in the Hindu text, when you read up, when you do your study, and I'm not even going to say from cover to cover, but when you are at least well read in all of them, enough to where you can see the connection, then when these people, basically this is what's supposed to happen. When someone comes to you and they say, I represent the Creator, you should be able to go to these books and you should be able to look at the person's actions and what they're saying. And they should go in alignment with what you read in that book. So what I'm saying is, yes, look at them rise up. It's a sign. And I'm not saying to cling to them. I'm not saying to go join them. But I'm saying to watch. I'm saying to look, because things are happening. Portals are going to start opening up. Signs and wonders are going to start happening more. Family, these things are time clocks. Something is happening. It's time to go. A true exodus, a physical exodus. I'm telling you, look, you call me crazy all you want. You can miss out on a blessing. I'm telling you. Remember how I told you those people on the outside of the circle looking in, looking like what's going on? No, my mom told me that. She said on her, in the way that she looked at the first sheep circles, she was like, the ones on the outside looking in are like the people sleep, looking at the ones following behind the Messiah. Remember, family, Christos, I'm not telling you to be Christians. Remember, Christos is just another word for you. I'm not saying call yourself Christos. I'm not saying call yourself anything. I'm telling you to understand that the Spirit is in you. You were born with the Spirit. It's in you. You have a soul. But you have to understand that you are the Spirit and not the avatar. There is no death for you. There is no real death for you. You don't die your energy. But this flesh leaves. And your flesh and your spirit are supposed to ascend together, hand in hand. And this is what I'm saying. Look, family. And I hate to say this, but if you've got the job, look, I'm sorry. Look, it's not saying that it's over, but it's almost like you're going to have to go through this cycle again. Family, if you have not, look, and I hate to say this because I have family members and people, look, family, if you know somebody who got, and you don't have it, you cannot lay with, I'm sorry, you can't lay with them. They'll spread it. You're trying to ascend. And look, I'm not trying to scare nobody, but I need you guys to understand what's happening. And if you've done the research on these things, and I put the videos up, there's certain things within these Jabberwockies that react to certain waves inside of you. And these things are literally changing your DNA. Family, there's an exodus coming. And honestly, I'm not putting you away because anything is possible through the Most High. Look, the Most High can take what the enemy meant for bad and turn to good. But we all have to stand together. We all have to accept this truth and walk on it, family. There's an exodus come, family. With all these videos lately of something in the sky stuff. Remember, what's that movie lately too? Nope. Remember, they said it was an alien, a monster in the clouds. There's been videos of clouds moving around like family. Triangle ships, spaceship triangle ships, family. We've been talking about it in the books, remember? Family, all of this. Listen. Family, there's an I'm sounding the alarm. Family, there's an exodus coming. It's here. It's not to panic, but it's to prepare. You need to read, prepare your family. I'm not telling you to go leave your job. Look, this is where I say don't believe nothing I say. This is where I say fast, pray, repent. Family, look, I'm not telling you to panic, but I'm telling you it's signs, family. There's an exodus coming. Look at the people of color. Remember, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. There's tribes, there's different tribes. Just because you look like me don't mean you are me. And just because you don't look like me don't mean you aren't me. This is why I say this is the difference between a Hebrew and a Israelite. Yes, a lot of people can be Israelites, but just because you're Israelite don't mean you're a Hebrew. Just because you're part of the bloodline of Abraham don't mean that you are a Hebrew or a child of the Most High. This is why I say you have to read, study to make yourself approved. Don't believe nothing I say. Keep yourself in hell. But me, I'm excited, son. I'm excited, sis, because I'm about to leave. Family, I know, look, my voice is hoarse right now, but I'm telling you. Matter of fact, this is what the movie this is what the movie I had a dream about it, and it was so vivid. It's one of these dreams that I know, because it's one of those dreams where I know there's a meaning to it because it's so vivid and I don't forget it. It's Planet of the Apes. Family, the Planet of the Apes is like a story of the 12 tribes finding the promised land. Look at the newest Planet of the Apes movie, family. Caesar and all them, Caesar is representation of Moshe, leading the people to the promised land. Family, we are all the Christos. We are all Moshe. But this time, we going into Exodus, but this time, the first time they went into Exodus in ignorance. This time we going into Exodus with the wisdom. So this time the leaders can't lead us back into, because remember, they went in and they got stuck there for 40 years. We not about to get stuck for 40 years. Man, I'm 40, look, 40. I'm at 40 minutes, 45. Listen to me, it's the message, family. This time, let us go with wisdom and knowledge. Let us go with belief and faith. We don't need Moses to lead us. Look, thank you, Moshe. Thank you for those who were Moshe before who take it, but now we all become Moshe. Yahushua said, the things I have done, you will do and do greater. When you understand, family, when you believe and have faith. Remember Peter Pan, all the kids have faith, but the kids who didn't believe couldn't do it. I mean, the adults and even the kids who didn't believe, they couldn't. But everybody who had faith, and especially those collectively who had faith, they ascended together. They flew together. Matter of fact, which book is it? It's an Enoch story where it talks about Enoch, the actual Atlantis, or one of the Atlantis cities was one of Enoch's cities, to where the people were all together in one spirit, following the Most High. And before the flood came, the Most High lifted their city, lifted the people in the city off the ground. Family, look, excuse me. Listen to me. And Exodus is here, family, a physical. Look, you can think I'm crazy. I'm telling you. The Bible, we've been reading it backwards. We should not be reading it from Exodus to Revelations. We should be reading it from Revelations to Exodus. Family, the movie, Don't Look Up. It's so spiritually profound right now, so prophetic. Look at it. That's where we are right now, the election. They telling you don't look up. It's not real, it's not fake, but something's coming. Signs, family, whether you want to call it a solar flare, ash, I don't believe in asteroids because dome. I believe, remember, fire and brimstone. Look up with fire and brimstone. It's all different. When you look or think about the ice, think about it. Really, so anyway, but what I'm talking about, something's coming. Whether you want to call it reset, flood, fire, damnation, fire, brimstone, asteroid, whatever you want to call it, family. Something is coming. Something is coming. You need to pray, fast, repent. It's not to scare you, because remember, love not your life unto death, and it's not saying you're dying, but you need to get spiritual under the family. The ascension comes from mental and spiritual growth. Family, you need to do your research. Family, I'm not trying to scare nobody, but look, honestly, I want you guys to know right now, I don't want to hurt myself. I'm alive. I want to live, especially because I'm so excited right now. Family, this message came to me. Look, family, spread the message. Like, share, subscribe. Share it. Even if you think I share it. Please, even if you don't like me, share it to show people how crazy I am. So those who want to listen, family. But I don't want to get, because I don't want to hurt myself. So that's why I say share it so that other people, look, do what you want to do. I don't know, whatever the creator leads, but family, there's an exodus coming. The animals, it's a sign. They're time, they're clocks, family. They're countdowns. Family, the creator brought to me back the movie Knowing lately. I was watching, I'm like, why is, man, this movie's so old. Why you bringing it? Remember, back in the Knowing. Remember what happened at the end of Knowing. The world was destroyed, Adam and Eve again. This movie again, Don't Look Up. Remember, this world was going, the world end, and then guess what? Adam and Eve again at the end. Remember, they got on ships. Remember, they were lying to people, not telling them something's happened, but they had ships ready to go. Elon Musk, SpaceX, all this, family. Why? And then they put this stuff in certain, look, family, and they got these long sticks that, how do you know that they know that we're all about to ascend and come to the truth? And those who got that thing in you, they're going to flip a switch and cut you off, because they're going to be like, we need you to protect us from the people who didn't get it, because everybody mad now of what we did. And we're going to use you and turn your family member into zombies to attack you, because we're going to turn them to stop you, to stop us. Like, remember I just said the movie Battlefield 2142. People were trying to go and attack the spaceport to stop it from leaving. In the Battlefield 2042, right? Why were they trying to stop the spaceship? Where are they running from? Where are they trying to go? Once again, remember too, if you've been reading, especially the one with in Mars. Remember, people are running away to certain land, but remember the word says they think they're going to get away, but they not. Family, Exodus is coming. I'm telling you. Mark my words. Think I'm playing. Family, it came to me so smooth from today to yesterday. I'm telling you. Look at the skies. Do your research. Family, I'm telling you. It's coming. Look, we are Moses, but you have to believe, because I don't want you depending on me. What did they do to Moses in the wilderness? They tried to stone him. I'm not Moses. We are Moses. But you have to believe. You have to want to take the step to do what you got to do. Family, I'm telling you, fast, pray, repent on what I'm saying. I know I'm not giving you, but those who understand, look, this is what the Israelite movement is. I'm not telling you to go join them. I'm not telling you to go, but what I'm saying is watch. Just watch. Watch certain tribes of people right now, especially ones with the melanin family. Remember, DNA too. This one I want to say too. DNA, remember, 666 is also a symbol for melanin, right? And family, look, and this is where I get back into the different tribes and the aliens. The enemy tries, look, the enemy knows what's happening, family. What they do is they try to jump ahead of, because they know the truth. They've been reading the Bible backwards. What I'm saying, this ain't nothing new to them. What they know what's happening, and they try to jump ahead of it before it happens, because they read in this. Remember, man, if you look at Big Judah's channel, he says it all the time, where he talks about how the certain churches, certain orders have telescopes on the highest mountains all over the world, because they read the skies and they know what's happening. So basically, family, they want us fight. Look, and this is going to be controversial, but even in looking Apocrypha, it happened. But we've been taught wrong. And remember, there's a difference between the tribes going out in ego and then going out in really being a representation of the Most High. And family, this goes back to the story of Yakub. Or remember, or a big head, what's his name? Of Yakub, right? And when Yakub was separating the races. And remember in the story of Yakub, okay, family, if you watch the video of Yakub, remember I did a video called The Star Wars Connection? And I put a video in there, and it goes to Yakub. So in the story of Yakub, look, please don't take offense, brothers and sisters, but honestly, look at it, it's like it's not even necessary to the difference between light-skinned and dark-skinned people. Yakub wanted only light-skinned people. So he did stuff to only have light-skinned people breed with light skin. And then one day, Yakub's cousin came back later, because remember, family, our DNA is to help us ascend. Remember, family, the ether itself is actually dark. The dark is not about better than you, but the darkness, remember, how do you know where you're going unless you know where you came from, unless you know where you came from? Family, think about it like this. If you were born from snow, what color is snow? White. So if you're born from snow, what color are you going to be? White. If you're born from so-called space or the ether, what color is the ether? Black. So what color are you going to be? It's not a color thing. This is what they're doing to separate us, and this is what I'm getting to, point, family. What I'm trying to let you know is that, and this is why, once again, what I'm saying, if you got that job thing, that Jabberwocky, the enemy, and we fell for the trick, the enemy jumped ahead of us. Family, and once again, don't just believe in me, but pray, do research. And because the enemy wants us to hate each other and fight against it. And it's not, and this is not telling me to just go sleep. I'm not saying this. Once again, there's an order to things. You don't just go sleep around like that. There's an order to things. But family, the DNA eventually, matter of fact, go back to that video where the DNA awake. And matter of fact, go his page. He explains a lot more. And then the DNA, remember, and once again, go back to the story of Yakub. What did Yakub do with the lighter skinned race? Yakub's cousin do when he came back later, years after Yakub died, to fix what Yakub did. He started interbreeding the two races until the more dominant gene, the more 666 dominant ether gene, eventually dominated the lighter gene. And then, okay, think about the Bible too, family. Remember when the Hebrews, when the Israelites left Egypt, right? Remember, they had a multitude with them. And the Bible says that the multitude will become a part of the nation after 3 generations. In other words, inbreeding, family. We're supposed to inbreed with the other nations because the ascension is part of your DNA too. We help the other nations as we breed together. And then that's why over time too, we go down in age, because when our bodies mix with theirs, it takes away from our pure bodies over time. That's why they used to live 1,000 years at a time. But as the body's been mixing with the creation, it's been going down. But it's for a reason, family. Because we're all supposed to ascend. It's for a reason, because we're not supposed to stay here forever in perfection. And this is, look, the enemy's been telling you don't mix. But in reality, we've been supposed to. Not, that don't mean just sleep around. That means who is spiritually minded. What the Bible says, look, like they're saying back in the day, it's not that the Most High doesn't want you to marry, if you want to use that word, or couple with someone of a different nation. Is you don't couple with someone who has a different mentality than you. Like, if you don't, but like what I'm telling you right now, like family, another thing we learn, remember Merkaba ships, right? How does it say you activate a Merkaba ship? You need 10 people of the same mind and spirit to activate a Merkaba ship. So in other words, you can't be in a relationship, you over here talking about, like me, I don't believe in nothing, but I'm going to get with a chick and she just all Islam. That's it. I don't believe nothing. Like, she cool and you know, she'll cook and do all this. Yes, because remember, there's a part of raising family. But she can't go no further than that, or vice versa. A chick, a woman, a sister who believes like me, but she with a man who's just all physical Jew. He just only the law and no spirituality. So this is what I'm trying to explain to you right now, family. Exodus. We're reading the Bible backwards. Read it from Revelations to Exodus. We've been reading it backwards, family. Look at the movies. Remember, it's the reset. There's been many resets. There's been ice ages. There's been floods. There's been firestorms, catastrophes. The Koran speaks about monsters destroying creation because the Creator wasn't always like this. The Creator started from an infant. Remember, there's many different dimensions, family. Look at Doctor Strange. Many different realities, many different dimensions. Family, I'm telling you the truth. I'm giving you my word. Look, Most High, I believe. We have to believe. Look, we need to start making changes right now, family, in your thought. Look, I got habits. I'm done. We got to be done with all these habits, everything. It's time to move. Whew. I would like to do the habit one more time, but I know I need to go. I need to move forward. But good. Look, we moving. Look, family. It's wake up, family. Ah! Wake up. Family, I'm telling you, it's coming. A physical exodus. Listen to me. The animals, circles, they're all signs. They're all together. Look at what's happening. Family. Bro. Family, when I said it hit me so smooth, family. These books, we've been talking about. A matter of fact, somebody on the station put up another station. They were talking about portals, ley lines. This book too. They're giving us the keys that we need to do what we need to do. We need to family. Look, the keys are all of us. Don't look at me. You're not stoning me like Moses. You're not gonna be like, because a lot of y'all don't have patience, and that's why they stoned Moses. Remember, right before they was about, it was always right before they was about to die. Moses, they was always about to kill Moses or destroy Moses, right? But also notice that that's right. Remember, the word says the Most High may not come when you want, but the Most High always comes right on time, right? So look, you might think I'm crazy. What I'm saying is, this is why I keep telling you guys, you got to read, you got to expand your own mind. The ascension is on you. This is why I keep saying, look, yes, Yahusha is my savior, but at the same time, my master taught me, look, I'm giving you the tools to save yourself. At the end of the day, I'm saving you, because if I didn't come and give you the tools, you'd be lost. But since I came and gave you the tools, now you have the tools to save yourself. It don't mean don't believe on Yahusha, but Yahusha, that once again, that's the Christos family. You are the Christos. The Christos is just another name like Hebrew. Once again, it's for your spiritual, to understand who you are, so that you can get this wisdom to keep ascending. Family, it's the DNA. Look, family, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Okay? Look, I'm done. Look, let's listen. We're going to go, and I'm going to sit here and think. I'm going to think. We're going to listen. I'm going to think to make sure I'm not forgetting nothing. Family, I'm telling you.
Jerusalem, Jerusalem.
Exodus, family.
Jerusalem,
Exodus.
Jerusalem.
Get yourself ready. Family, Exodus.
We wanna
look don't look up.
Go back where
look at it, I'm telling you. Exodus, family. What did I tell you? We'll be knowing. The numbers, family, the numbers are live. The messages. Read, family, look at the numbers. Family, the numbers turned on last night so quick for me. It was like something happened to me. something came over me. And then the numbers she started coming out and they were just shooting family. Exodus, family, Exodus. Look at the Israelites, they're rising up, the Hebrews. But look, I'm not just saying go follow some organization, family. I'm not just saying go follow some organization. I'm saying, look, be like a Berean, study, family, study to make yourself improve. You don't have time, keep reading. I'm not telling you to be scared, I'm not telling you to run, but I'm telling you to read, I'm telling you to study, I'm telling you to pray, fast, repent. Today, if your friend want to go to the club, let know I got something to do. Look, I'm not telling you don't take care of your responsibilities. I know you got family. Because look, the Most High is about order, but you got the message. So move on the message. It don't mean stop. I know you have responsibilities. That's not on me. But what I'm saying is watch. Because remember Exodus, one day there was a sign. There was a message came out, drop everything. Who knows? It might be this next Passover or the Passover after that. Passover coming, family. For all you all my so-called Christian people say, well, we do Christmas because we do it because we love Jesus. Then why don't you do Passover? You make that excuse all the time. Then why don't you do Passover? Passover is for the Messiah, for the Lamb, who you say you love so much. But you want to do another holiday that's about gifts, about you getting something. Family, it's time, I'm telling you. Not even just, what are these people, climate control people? Look, remember, just because it comes from a different prophet, look at the message. Like you got these people out here talking about something that's going to happen with the environment in like 2.5 years. Actually, it's less than 2.5 now, because I saw that message maybe almost a year ago now. There's been messages, family, signs everywhere. What do they know that we don't know? Look up. Look up. Family. We're reading the Bible backwards. Reading from Revelations to Exodus, not from Exodus to Revelations. We're reading it backwards. Family, it's here. I feel it. You're not going to forsake us, family. She's not going to forsake us. He's not going to forsake us. The Creator's not going to forsake us. Jerusalem, yeah. We wanna go back home, go back where we belong. Forgive us for our wrong. I pray this reach the throne. Come on, family, we're going. I'm telling you, family. Look, family, I got it. I think I explained. Remember, the 3 towers of Babel. 3 towers of Babel. The physical, the spiritual, the DNA. Remember, family, they tricked us. We done fell for the dupe. Spread the message. Like, subscribe, spread. I'm telling you, Exodus is coming. Keep watching. Remember, what does the word say? He come like a thief in the night. Don't get caught out guard. I'm not talking about no rapture. Just look, it's something different. That's why I say study. We've been lied. They lied. We've been reading stuff backwards. You might not be distant. It might be ships. We don't know. Remember that movie says no? What they have the ship doing, eat people. So they're going to have you running from the chariots instead of running to the chariots. But then there might be multiple chariots. So I'm not telling you to run in any chariot. I'm telling you to feel. I'm telling you to know something's coming. Exodus, keep your eyes open, family. It's like Noah again. Noah warned them and they called him crazy. I'm telling you. Remember, family, how things start is how they end. How did America start? It started off blood, rape, destruction. That's this whole Kyrie and Thanksgiving thing. How something started is how it's going to end. You keep being a fool and ignore it. You keep ignoring your true heritage. You keep ignoring who you are. You keep ignoring the truth. You keep snarling your nose up at people. The truth coming out. This what they don't want. But for those who are truly star seeds to know the truth, rise up. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. You know what I'm saying? It's time, family. Family, the circles, they're clocks. It's time. I ain't playing with you. I know, look, I ain't got nothing to lose. That's look, y'all might be like, look, he kind of crazy, he got nothing to lose. That's right. That's why I'm glad I ain't got nothing to lose. So when it's time to glow, when it's time to go, when the Creator says it's time to go, I ain't got nothing to carry with me except for my books. Well, no, I probably don't need that because I got the wisdom. But I would. I'll take my book to the wisdom. Because it's reading, we need to grow, family. I won't forsake you. I won't forsake you. Let's go, son. Let's go, family. Let's go, sis. Let's go. Let's go, kings. Let's go, queens. Rise up. Come on. Rise up, y'all. Rise up, y'all. Rise up, tribes. It's time. We going. I'm telling you, family. We going. I'm telling you. Family, listen to everything I say. Don't think I'm crazy. This for everybody, the multitude. Just it ain't about this deeper than skin and flesh. It's for everybody, but you gotta believe. You gotta research. You gotta become Moses. Everything I will do, you will doing better. Everything I've done, you will doing better. All you need is the faith of a mustard seed. But now make that mustard seed grow. Be strong, family. Remember, when you ask and you tell the Creator that you want to serve the Creator gonna test you. Things is gonna start going wrong, but you gotta stand strong. You gotta, for those who truly believe, you gotta stand strong. It's gonna be trial. You gotta go through the wilderness because the Most High has to take the wilderness off. You gotta take Egypt off you. You can't go into the kingdom with the past on you. Remember, we keep dragging the past with us. We gotta go to the future brand new, ready for whatever the Creator brings towards us. We gotta leave Egypt behind. We gotta leave Babylon behind. It's time to go, family. It's time to go. It's time to go. Rise up. Rise up. Shalom, family. I'm a wise, wealthy, rich, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. All praise to the Most High. Thank you for this message, Most High Creator. Family, let's go. Let's do this, family. It's time. Be blessed.